Hi everyone, Kevin Muldoon here, and as you can see, I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to gaming handhelds. I love playing old games on portable gaming systems, and you can see I've got a few of them here. PSP Go is probably my go-to one, but I love the Micro because it's small, the SP because it's pretty awesome, and the 3DS, yeah, it's okay. The reason I'm talking about this is because my habit continues and I bought something else from China. Inside here is the RS-20, which should hopefully be a very cheap Famicom copy. It cost me $17.39 from AliExpress. I'll bring the camera up a little bit. You see everything here. So this is kind of bizarre, the packaging. The cartridge is just lying out. So right, okay, what we got here? Got a UK plug. That is actually quite surprising. So we've got a US plug. Oh, it's an adapter. It's not a UK. We've got a US charging cable. That's mini B by the looks of it. Yep. So it's like the old PS3 controller. So it's an old style controller. We've got a US to UK adapter. We've got EV cables. We've got, what is this? What is this? It's a cartridge with 3 Chinese symbols on it. Enough of that. Let's look at, in fact, I'll take it out from here. It's one of those things. At $17, you know, I'm not expecting much, but hopefully it punches above its weight. Bit of random cardboard there for no reason. Right, okay. So here we go, here we go, here we go. Whoa! That is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. Now, this is, oh my god, like I can't believe how big that is. I really didn't expect it to be that big. Right. So there's a manual which is in Chinese, and as someone who speaks English, oh, I was going to say that doesn't help me, but there is some instructions for can't talk in English at the back. There are some instructions, so there's that. Now to put it in perspective, how big this thing is. Honestly, I'm just surprised at how big this is. I mean, it's bigger than my 3DS. Put it that way. This is supposed to be like a kind of SNES gimmick. Look at how much it dwarfs the Micro, the PSP Go, and the SP. This thing is big. It really is big. I hope that's coming across in the video. So we've got, zoom in a little bit here, get a little bit closer. Right, we've got A, B, double B, sorry. Select start, a reset button, which is annoyingly close to the D-pad. Looks like a headphone jack there. You've got the mini B connection. You've got a cartridge slot for the individual cartridge that nearly fell out in packaging. The bottom looks like a volume control. Oh, there we go, power. And we've got a lithium ion battery in the back. That is 700 milliamps. God knows how much battery life I'm going to get out of that. There's absolutely nothing in the side, nothing at all. So I've taken the little cover off the screen. Now the screen is 2.6 inches. Another thing to clarify, I think I said earlier this is a headphone jack, but it's not. You can see there, that's not going to work. This is in fact the AV jack. So you plug that in, put that to your television, and you can see there, I'm going to plug it in, I'll go to the TV. Why anyone would want to play this on a TV, I don't know. I think these things are always better played on handhelds, but that's just me. The other thing to clarify, according to the sales pitch, there's 128 games on this, and there's, 472 for a total of 600. So you get the 400, the majority of the games, by keeping the cartridge out, and you get an extra 128 by putting in this cartridge. Let's try the cartridge first. Now, as I said, it's a 2.6 inch LCD screen. It's not the best in the world, but it's not terrible either. I mean, it's fairly bright. Maybe the contrast isn't as good as other options, but it's not terrible. In fact, I'd even argue that, it stands up quite well against some Nintendo systems. It is fairly reflective. But, if you're in a dark room, I don't, you're not going to have any problems playing this. None at all. So, that music is annoying. And it seems to be, you get selected Chinese and English anytime you select it. So, hopefully you can see these games. So you can go left and right, or you can go up and down to select. Have you heard of any of these games? Pizza Boy, Poker AV, Police Dog. Oh my god. What have I got here? What have I got here? Alright, there's some bad guy doing some things there. Try and maybe turn that light off, just see. Does that help a little bit with the reflection? This is quite a shiny thing. You can see the camera in here because of this solid gold plating. Right, I'm not even playing yet. Right. Here I am. I'm a little dog. I'm sniffing for some things. Oh man, this game sucks. All the way back, select English. Long jump, javelin. That could be good. These are kind of like early NES or late Atari graphics, essentially. There we go. Oh, look. So, first impressions of the games in the cartridge are... they're really, really bad. They really suck. Final Blood. Could this be a Final Fight type thing? Or a fighting one? Like... the music is terrible. Like, what's even going on here? There's nothing to kill. Like, seriously, what is the point of this game? Like, there's no bad guys, there's nothing to shoot. Like, what is the primary goal here? So, the games on the cartridge aren't great. Let's see what the games are like on the main system. And what you see, there's a lot of kind of clone games on this one. Like copies of legitimately good games. And this is where I think most people, like, that you could honestly throw this away, no one would care. Right. Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm going to attempt to play it like this so that, when I start playing it, that comes out of the video. So I'm going to try and attempt to play it like this. You can hear that? The audio is actually speeded up a little bit. Oh, that was bad. This is really hard behind the camera. That's my excuse for playing badly, people. That actually seems to play okay. I don't know if it's saving yet. That's something I'll need to try. Now, the reason the volume's changing there is because, you know, the mono speaker at the back, when you place it down, you know, it's blocking the audio. So, another... Oh, mighty final fight. This looks... I think this was the NES, I think. Yeah, just NES graphics. That could be fun, that game. Looks like a kind of Double Dragon thing. I believe the original Final Fight was before Double Dragon, but... Sonic. Oh, that looks really bad. Yeah, that's... I don't know what's going on here. The graphics are all mixed up. That's like a cheap copy. That's bizarre. So that's not good. I don't like you have to select English every time. Surely there's a way that you only do it once. Super Contra 24-1. The UK, this Contra was actually called Pro Protector. It still is awesome, but for whatever reason in the UK we had robots instead of people in the army. You know, army guys. Don't know why. I'm sure there's a valid reason for that, but that seems to play okay actually. Just the Sonic one seems quite bad. Now, obviously I'm not going to get through all the games because that's silly. Rockman, I assume, is Mega Man. Yep. They called it Rockman in Japan, I believe. Oh, classic. Classic, the original Mega Man. Yeah, I mean, just to reiterate, the games on this are really bad. I wouldn't even bother, you know, keeping that. Now, these are rip-offs, obviously. These are games that are just stolen from Nintendo. Bubble Bubble. Does it even get Angry Birds for some reason? Excuse me. So they've thrown Angry Birds in. Right, this isn't Angry Birds. This is a bizarre... Right, okay, this isn't Angry Birds. This is like some bizarre game where they've just used the Angry Birds name. Well, the Chinese menu is actually a little bit different. You see that? It says 472.1. Right, Fantasy Zone. There's a lot of... It's kind of a mixed bag. There's some games that are okay. Turtles 1, 2, 3. Seems to be a lot of NES games. You know, but it's just kind of weird, you know, like Super Mario Bros. Was in English, now we've got first Turtles game. That was coming up in Japanese there. This was a good game in the day. Well, I thought it was, but I was a young kid. Yeah, it's kind of a mixture because there's certain games in the English list that are, you know, in Chinese. 1944, DuckTales, Metal Gear, Double Dragon 3, Life Force. Nice little shooting game, that. Oh, Double Dragon. There's a lot of good games here. Now, obviously, it's a pain, you know, if the games that you want are like 400 and something, you're going to have to go through all these games to get there, which is a little bit of a pain. But what it seems to be is a collection of NES games from the Famicom, from from the European and American NES systems as well. These ones seem to be more in alphabetical order. So it looks like they've kind of stopped, you know, the better games at the start there. I believe that's what they've done. And they're throwing all the bad games at the back. I think that's what they've done. Does seem that way. I'll go back to start here. So they're throwing the best games at the start, so I think most people will just kind of stick to the start. Chip and Dale. That was actually a good little platformer. Again, Chinese writing. So, my first impressions, obviously I've not been using it long. Just been playing around with it. I've got no idea on battery life. Mario and Yoshi, see that. So they all seem to be like NES games. My first impressions of this system are that the actual console itself, the screen isn't too bad. It's not that bad at all. It's bright. You know, it's... The actual screen is okay in my eyes. Don't know about battery life. The speakers are a mono bass speaker, one speaker at the back, and when you set it down, it kind of muffles it a little bit, but it's not too bad. The menu system getting to games is a bit of a pain. The games on this cartridge suck. The games in the system, some of them are okay. In fact, there's a lot of great games there. From a design point of view, I do feel that, you know, if I get this up here a little bit more, you can see how big this is. Now, the micro is tiny, but, you know, this dwarfs the 3DS. And this is playing NES games, not, you know, games from this century. You know, it dwarfs the PSP Go as well. This is a big, boxy bitch. That's the best way to explain it. The buttons aren't too bad. They're not amazing, you know, but for little games from the 80s and 90s, they're not too bad. The reset button is, you know, it works okay. It does go back to the same menu with that terrible music. But really, what makes this whole system and what saves the system really is the good games that are built in. If it only came in this cartridge, I would say that this is a terrible monstrosity and to stay away. But because they have thrown in games like Contra, Mario Bros. 3, Final Fight, I was going to say Sonic, but that sucked. Ninja Gaiden, Alien 3, Bionic Commando. Like, these are all classic Nintendo NES games. These were amazing games. And, you know, if you grew up with them, there's obviously a lot of nostalgia value. Bionic Commando, for example, is an absolutely amazing game. It was remastered on the PS3, and it's a fantastic game, absolutely amazing. So, because of games like that being included in this system, it makes it worthwhile. It saves it. So, I reckon out of 600 games, I think there's maybe like 30 or 40 classic NES games in the midst of all this somewhere. And some of them seem a little bit kind of, you know, you saw with the Sonic clone, it wasn't working correctly. And you saw some of the other ones have got Chinese writing, but it doesn't stop you from playing it okay. So I do think that if it didn't have those cloned Nintendo NES games, I wouldn't recommend this. But because it does, I think for $17, yes, it's boxy. Yes, it's kind of a piece of crap, really, because, you know, for the money, you're maybe better putting your money towards buying a second-hand SP or Micro or PSP Go or something. But I think if you just want a little blast at some classic Nintendo NES games, this is okay. The only thing I don't know yet is whether it saves. So, I mean, I think Super Mario Bros. 3 saves games, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't save games. What am I talking about? Really, the only way to test whether it saves games would be to play something like, you know, like a Zelda or something like that. And I don't think Zelda is on this. Mickey Mouse 3. You know what I mean? Chinese writing and... you know, what chance you got? It's all in Chinese. That is a horrendously annoying mono speaker. But at least you can turn it down. So, that's my view on this. It's called the RS-20, I believe. Sometimes known as a Cool Boy. And I'll just verify that. Yeah, just verify that. RS-20, sometimes called the Cool Baby or the Cool Boy RS-20. It's sold under different names. You'll find it on Amazon, you'll find it on eBay, you'll find it on Chinese websites like AliExpress and GearBest and Banggood and all these different websites. It's fairly cheap to buy. It's not a classic, far from a classic. It's boxy, but it's fairly cheap, and there's a couple of old classic Nintendo NES games on it. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I think the inclusion of some NES classic games saves it. If those games weren't there, if you were left to, this is kind of like an Atari cart. If you were left to those, you wouldn't be happy. You really wouldn't be happy at all. But, you've got games like Ninja Gaiden, things like that here. These are fantastic games. There's a lot of gameplay on this if you can persevere through the classic 80s graphics. But I imagine if you're buying this, you do want a retro console. You're not looking for the latest and greatest system. So there you have it, guys. I paid about $17. It normally retails between $15 and $20 delivered to your door. So if you can get it for around that, if your expectations are low, I'm sure you'll be pleased. If you're expecting the world, you will be sorely disappointed. So thanks for watching, guys. If you get any questions about this, please do ask below in the comment area. I do appreciate you watching. Please do subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care.